Between 7th grade and when I graduated high school, I lived in a different town, went to a different school pretty much every year. You know, the only real influence in my life when I was growing up was some youth pastors and some friends from youth group at the different churches that we ended up going to. Somehow I ended up going to NNU. You know, I thought I was there to be a youth pastor because that was what I had followed as a role model, you know, growing up, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And God had a different plan. I ended up dating a girl that just was way too physical with, and ended up losing my virginity and kind of having a very life-changing, just a complete course shift. And I went through a lot of pain as a result of that relationship with that girl. And I went into a very dark place and tried to fill this void really with a lot of other things that were just idols that were getting in the way of really a good relationship with Jesus. I stopped going to church, stopped reading the Bible, stopped having positive friends. And it wasn't until I met the woman that became my wife, and as we started dating, I still wasn't, you know, in a good spot to be what she needed or to really be a good husband down the road. And I started thinking about things like that, interestingly enough, at that time. I started thinking about what it would mean to be a good father, what it would mean to be a good husband. I just honestly felt the need to grow up, and I didn't really know how to do that. I had a really hard time letting go of the friendships that I had developed since I had moved to the Boise area. Because I had moved so much, it was just kind of ingrained in me that I needed that assurance and I needed that social acceptance if I was going to be anybody. Went to men's conference probably 3 years ago. Something that was a topic of conversation during that men's conference was acknowledgement of who God is in your life. It just hit home with me so dramatically. You know, in Matthew, Jesus says, if you don't acknowledge me before your friends here, before people here on earth, I'm not going to acknowledge you before my Father in heaven. And man, you know, I was ripped apart inside when I realized that meant I'm going to probably have to leave some of these friends that I've become so attached to. And over the last few years, as that has become more clear and I've prayed, God, you know, you need to be on the throne of my life, not my friends. Please start remedying that situation. He's done it. He's had people move. He's been behind a number of relationships that have either just gone a different direction, or he's opened doors for me to share why God is so important to me and what does that mean. And it's been dramatic, but at the end of the day, the thing that keeps kind of coming back to me with that acknowledgement is a scripture that's meant a lot to me over the last few years. It's Proverbs 3:5-6. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight. I think that's just the thing that really defines my spiritual journey right now is, as a man, as a husband, as a father now, what does it mean for me to really acknowledge God in my life? And it means that I don't have things that are for me more important or more distracting than my relationship with him and the love that I need to display for my family.